When the show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith winced at leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night, 'cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and that's Aubrey. We'll be introducing her in a few moments. How are you today?
Just lovely. How are you?
Otis was a little bit under the weather this morning.
Otis on a, what would you say, a really quick weight loss program.
Yes, he is. So we gave him the day off.
Yes.
Said we'd see you next Thursday.
Hope you feel better, and I hope you get something that'll stick to your ribs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That being ill is not fun.
No. He been sick. What's bad is he was off the weekend because somebody was good enough to help him. And
wonder who that was.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be on the beach, with his toes in the sand and all that. And
didn't happen. Hey, wasn't he supposed to go one of those, what do you call them, where they blow the smoke and they reveal a baby? Wasn't he supposed to be?
Yeah, gender reveal, and he was going to the beach and, do his Kenny Chesney best impersonation. And the poor fella, I think, has not left the facilities all weekend.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
So hang in there, Otis. We had dinner with Kenny over the weekend, didn't we?
That's right. We sure did.
I don't know if anybody spotted that or not, but he was floating around.
He does look like him, doesn't
he? He does. He'd fool you there. And what we're talking about, we had dinner with a guy, what was that, Saturday night?
Yeah.
You would promise, I promise you'd think it's Kenny Chesney. He even acts a little bit like Kenny.
Yeah, he did.
He'd been dumped by a lot of women.
That's right.
That's what led up to that. It is Monday morning some kind of a way or another as this has happened. We're at June 16th. July 4th is on the way. Can you believe that?
This is right around the corner.
Now, as we speak about that, I don't know how many people watched it. I didn't get to see but about 5 to 10 minutes of it, of this big parade that was in Washington this weekend. The 250th Army.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it.
Did we send some guardsmen?
We did.
Good.
It was really a history lesson as it started out with the Revolutionary War. People dressed as that walking, and it was a time capsule as our military progressed and went along. And it was a history lesson by far and above. Did it cost some money to do it? Yes.
Why would they not like that?
There's a lot of people that don't like patriotism. I believe that. Seriously, there's people that live amongst us that don't like that and don't really want history taught anymore. Greg, they even went so far as changing history books. Do you know that?
Aren't you bound to repeat it if you don't embrace it?
There you go.
Never mind.
But you're right.
That just makes me sick.
You know what makes me?
That's right. I'm open the gate, and if you don't like it here, leave.
Yes, sir. Oh, what's her name? Didn't Rosie leave?
Yeah, so I promised to 2 or 3 times. I don't know if she ever left.
She did.
Not,
she's finally over there. She's belly aching.
If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But we should not have to change and conform to your warped way of thinking to make you happy.
It had, used to, and I'm not trying to get on anybody's nerves, but this is just point blank common knowledge things. If you moved to America, well, you spoke our language. You became part of our society. Somewhere and along the way, it is really turned from that to where there's this group, and you got to speak 5 languages.
No.
Now we have truck drivers that can't read signs, and wrecks are happening.
Runs under bridges.
Because they can't read anything.
Well, I'm like the old comedian said, there ought to be a sign at the airport. You can't read this, leave.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But America became soft somewhere down the line. And those are the people that are really upset with the current president, who is not soft.
Well,
is that a good way to put it?
And I totally, don't get me wrong now. I'm not one of them, I'd follow him off the end of the earth, drink the Kool-Aid type people. But when the man's right, he's right.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it is the way it is. And either you conform to our way of doing things, God and country, or leave. It's that simple.
That's great. And that's the way it should fall. God, family, country. There's a lot of people that miss the boat on that.
That's exactly right. And if you don't like it, move along.
There was a song about that. Oh, it was Merle Haggard. If you don't love it, leave it.
That's right. The fighting side of me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I firmly believe in all of that. But as we saw all these protests, and it was called, what was it, No Kings?
Something. It didn't make no sense to me.
So we looked up the definition of this. It's metaphorical, as they put here, basically saying that Trump thinks he's a king and his dictatorship. That's not it. He will leave in 4 years and a new person will be elected.
And he's gotten stuff done. I mean, I think that's what they're struggling with, is everybody always talks about what they're going to do, and then it gets buried in red tape and pork and everything else.
Yep.
And this man tells you, if he tells you at 2:30, I'm kicking your can, he's kicking your can at 2:30.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I went to a thing yesterday at the Carter Foundation. He said, when we tell you we're going to start at 4 o'clock, we start at 4 o'clock. He said, it don't matter if there's two people standing here. We don't wait. We start when we. And I appreciate that.
Yep.
We'll show you some pictures this morning from the Carter Foundation. That was interesting, to say the least. A lot has happened over the weekend that we're going to be telling you about. The name of the man that was lost his life in an accident on I-20 was released Friday. We've also, horrible accident happened in Clarke County. The dancing garbage man.
Yes.
Loved by so many, was struck and killed over the weekend. We'll get to that. That's one of our headline stories that happened. And numerous accidents went on.
There was a bunch of them yesterday, wasn't it?
It was, and Arnold, you're right. Jesus is the king.
That's right.
Without a doubt there. And Robin, you're right. Coffee makes people better. It really, really improves people's personalities the earlier in the day that it is.
Think how bad I'd be without it.
We'll be right back again. Aubrey is coming up. She's going to tell us about stuffing the bus. Ooh, what's all that mean? We'll find out in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have two locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and Aquapel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Whoop, we had to come back, didn't we? Boy, that was quick. Let's see here. As we get this day underway, we do hope your day is going well. We had a situation Friday that occurred. And let me just show you the picture of the scene. This was Highway 45, directly across from the paper plant. As we get here, and this is on the outskirts of Marion, there was a call of an active shooter. Oh yeah, Meridian, Mississippi, you don't hear that. We took off to the scene. We parked at faraway places where it used to be and arrived there. It was first put out that two people were stabbed, Greg, and there was an active shooter on the scene. After police arrived, and when I say after the police arrived, I mean everybody within 16 counties descended up on the road there. It was packed with law enforcement. We went live and carried this. At the end of the day, what would happen is I think there was one person with a mark above their eye. I can't verify how it happened. And I do think from early reports that a gun may have been fired. When police were on scene, there was no active gunfire happening. 2 people were, I'll say, detained. We hadn't gotten an update up on this, but detained, taken into custody. I don't know if they were charged with anything. We hadn't gotten an update on that, but that is what went on there. And then when the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department started breaking up, you pretty quickly knew that the threat was over as they left the scene and left the Meridian Police Department in charge of what was going on. Did I get all that out?
What is at that location?
Well, I always thought, and y'all correct me, right along in here is the city limit sign right back here.
Right.
And then this would be up from there, which would be the county.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go look for the city limit sign and see where it might be. I think there could be a discrepancy of whose territory that is. I don't know where they pay taxes, whether it's Meridian or Marion for city taxes, but it was a question of whose territory it is there for a few moments. I'm going to go look for the sign today and see who's right. There's got to be a city limit sign there somewhere.
Okay.
Right along there. So that's what happened Friday. It was a huge law enforcement. Did you see how many it was?
Oh, when they said active shooter, I figured it would draw some folks.
So that's what. No injuries, and again, we want to point that out. No one was hurt whatsoever. But it wasn't for. Had there been a problem, it would have been taken care of quickly. We'll put it that way. It was enough there to handle it. As we mentioned, our friend Miss Aubrey has showed up on scene this morning. Aubrey, how in the world are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
All right. Y'all do this every year, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Stuff the Bus. When does it start?
So we're going to start our event on July 8th. We're going to have 4 different days, and they're all going to be consecutive. So we'll start in Clarke County at Chickasahey Natural Gas on July 8th, and then the next day we're going to move to Kemper County at Pilgrim's Food Liner, and then the next day on July 10th will be our Lauderdale County event, and we're going to set up at 3 different locations.
Wow.
We're going to be at both of the big Walmarts on Highway 19 and the Bonita Lakes location, as well as Raising Cane's. And then that Friday, July 11th, we'll move to Neshoba County, and we're going to set up at Walmart in Philadelphia. And all of these events are going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Let's see if she can do it again, Greg. Can you say Chickasahey again?
Chickasahey.
Well, she got that down pat. Good job on that.
Thank you.
Now, tell us, and first of all, we didn't really introduce you. Aubrey, are you still in high school or in college?
So I just finished my freshman year at Mississippi State, so I'm interning with the Riley Foundation at United Way right now.
Well, that's a big deal. So what are you going to be getting your degree in?
So I'm studying marketing right now.
Wow. Doing a good job, I take it there.
Yeah, thank you.
How is this so far? What have you learned as you've gone into this summer role? Has it been fun?
Oh, it has. It's a lot more than I expected, but it's definitely fun, rewarding for sure.
Marketing, and you will bump into a lot of people as you do this and as you prepare yourself for your future there.
Yes, sir.
Now, typically, how long does it take to fill the bus? What are the statistics told us?
Depends on how big the bus is. Charter bus, real big, school bus, little bus.
That's right. So how long do y'all plan to stay at each location? That's what I'm hinting at.
We'll set up, and then we'll be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we'll spend the next week after that organizing and distributing the school supplies.
So we're set there in each location for a day to put as much in there as we can.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's not bad at all there. And who does this benefit? Who reaps the benefits from this? Who are they distributed to?
Yeah, so we'll distribute it to all the schools in each county. So it'll go to the kids and everything.
So city and county schools,
Yes,
is that
sir.
how that works?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, it's a lot of kids to take care of. And what are we asking people to bring? What should you bring? Pencils or book bag? What is it y'all need?
So we'll take any school supplies. We have over 20 donation boxes around Lauderdale County alone. And we'll be posting those locations on our social media. But we're taking school supplies. You can donate at the drop-off boxes if you can't make it to the event. And we're also taking monetary donations that you can donate at the event or through the United Way website.
Y'all got a lot going on here. Anybody you need to say hello to this morning?
I don't think so.
No boyfriend or anything like that? that you
No,
wanna say?
I guess I'll say hey to my grandparents, my great-grandmother.
See, that's the way you do that. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming in, Miss Aubrey. And again, give us the dates, and let's go back over those Chickasahey dates of when we're going to be all up amongst them in Clarke County.
All right, yes, sir. So we're going to start July 8th. in Clarke County across from Chickasahey Natural Gas. We'll move our next day to July 10th July 9th in Kipper County, and we'll be at Pilgrim's Food Liner. And then Lauderdale County is going to be on July 10th, and we'll be at 3 separate locations, both of the big Walmarts as well as Raising Cane's. And then we're going to wrap it up on July 11th in Neshoba County at the Walmart in Philadelphia.
So do you like the burger, or do you like the box set there from Cane's? What do you go with? Which piece of chicken is your favorite from there?
I get a 3-piece chicken every time. I have it at least twice a week.
I agree.
Yes, I
agree.
love Cane's.
It's hard to be, and they really do a lot for our community,
Yes,
and we
great.
appreciate them each time they donate.
And they got a pretty quick drive-through.
Yeah.
Well, they have to, or they'd be lined up all out in 52nd Street, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. But good stuff there. I always get that box combo and swap out that extra coleslaw for the. You can do that. Like if you get coleslaw and don't like it, you can ask for an extra piece of bread instead of that.
Why don't you like coleslaw?
It just ain't my thing. It's
the healthiest thing on there.
It may be, but like I don't like shredded salad. I like salad, to where I take a fork and crush it.
Well, they'll give you a head of cabbage and some mayonnaise.
But I don't know. It's got a weird taste to it.
Tastes like coleslaw.
Right. And I don't know. I've never been able to adjust to that. There's a lot of people that love it.
Okay.
It ain't my thing. I know it's big down in Clarke County. Y'all all nuts about it down there. You buy about a gallon there, can't you?
Yes, sir. Go to Long's Fish Camp.
Oh, my. All right. Aubrey, thank you so much for coming in and
thank
spending a little
y'all.
time with us. A great call. Stuff the Bus coming your way, and United Way will be helping out with this. Aubrey, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate it. We'll be right back with more headlines of what happened this weekend.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning to save the day. We can keep you comfortable with special savings for your home, like up to $3,000 off new HVAC systems or a tune-up for just $69. Keep the power on with a generator. Get $200 off installs and 0% financing for 60 months. We do it all at Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning and offer financing options for any repair or installation. Call for a free quote or visit us online at HeblonHeatingandCooling.com.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Greg filling in for Otis this morning, who's a little under the weather.
He's under.
He's, to say the least. Let's talk about miracles, how they happen.
Buddy.
I don't see how you could walk away from this, and we're hearing no injuries. Is that
What
correct?
I was told, either no injuries or minor injuries.
Clarke County is where we got. Our friends at Clarke County Hot Topics shared this with us. Look at this, y'all. That's under a guardrail on a bridge.
Oh.
Look at that.
Roscoe would say that's a horrendous crash. Yeah.
And walked away without a scratch. A little car ran right up underneath that.
That is horrible, people. These wet roads will get you slowed down.
But that's a recap. That happened in Clarke County over the weekend. Again, a miracle to walk away from that. That was at 135 there at the Enterprise exit is where that happened.
It just goes back to show you, if it's your time, it's your time. You better get right. Because we'll pull up on a wreck and it'll be, oh, well, that's just a little, nothing really happened, just a little fender bender. Well, they passed away.
Yeah.
Then you pull up on something like this, it looks like King Kong wadded it up and throwed it down.
You're right.
So I ain't going to get to preaching this morning, but if you don't turn, you're going to burn. So
That's right.
You better get right with the maker.
I wanted somebody to ask what kind of car. I think, let me see here
It's
if I
a
can.
wreck one.
Yeah. I've made. Is that a Toyota?
I can't tell.
I can't tell by the emblem. Cars have changed so much. It may be.
It's a red one.
Yeah, we figured that out. Red. So, Rump Row. As we talk about incidents and all, we did get the name of the person who passed away in the wreck on I-20. Stella told us that he was identified as Devont Wibbs, 32, from Newton area. Lost his life there at Lost Gap in a one-vehicle accident. I think that was on late Thursday afternoon when that happened.
Oh, man. How many did we have yesterday?
Greg, there was in a quarter of a mile.
5, 4?
It was 4, if I am not mistaken. It was, woof.
Well, we got dispatch. When I got there, I was like, which wreck? I mean, where do you start? There was 2 18-wheelers knotted up. There was Tahoe in the side of the road. Looked like King Kong had stepped on it.
Well, this is the 18-wheelers. And let me back up here. Now, what you'll see here on this, and I'll turn it down because that outside noise was kind of loud there. You've got this truck here who rammed the back. Let me slide this forward so it won't be so loud here as I spun the camera around. Slammed into the rear end of this truck. And you go, well, what was going on there? Well, they had to stop quickly because this was going on in front of them.
Okay.
Three vehicles involved there. And we'll look at some still pictures. Look what's left of that Toyota. College Park Auto all over that situation.
You and I discussed this yesterday. A lot of your bigger cities have got these signs up that tells you if it'll roll. Now granted, some of them wouldn't, but like
right.
18-wheelers would, obviously. That if it'll roll, get it out of the road. I mean, you can see up here the exit. Why would you...
Right.
Some of that stuff, because the problem is, and I've said this before on the show, the primary wreck's bad enough. There's nothing I can do to prevent that. But if we can prevent these secondary wrecks from people slamming on brakes because of the primary wreck, so my thing, and I don't know the legalities of it, and I'm most definitely not an attorney, but, a lot of big cities has got, if it'll roll, get it out of the road. Let's keep the road open. Because I got news for you people. I understand it's a traumatic time in your life, but them other people, they don't care that you just had a wreck. And they going to keep rolling.
As Greg just pointed out, let me show you the route. You know how they always say the root cause? Yeah. Here it is. This is what caused all of those. This was an accident near the 153.
On the bridge up there.
Right. And traffic was backed up because this car, I think it bumped the side of that. It was a one-vehicle accident. And then as the cars tried to stop way back, that 3-car pile up happened, and then immediately after that 18-wheeler accident happened as they tried to stop. So traffic was backed up way past the 150.
From the legalities of that, could he have just snapped a picture? Hey, I bumped the wall. There's nobody else involved, and got off on the 22nd Avenue exit and called the police for a report, and the interstate stays flowing. That's
now,
just
now what I don't know, and let me be honest about this, is I see a wrecker. I don't know if the car was disabled. I don't know if it just quit. That could have caused it. I'm unsure. But there are a lot of times that they will crank and roll that you can get right out of the highway.
And I'm going to tell you, if it won't and you're out there on the side of the road, you keep your head on a swivel. I promise you, that is one of the most dangerous places you can be, is on the side of I-20 or any interstate. It's very, very dangerous.
And drive 2 car lanes behind a vehicle. But as we all know, in reality, most people don't.
I thought it was a car length for every 10 miles an hour.
That's the law, I think.
I remembered something.
You might could pass that test again. It's been a while since I had that.
Did you have to hitch up the car when you took it?
No, but I did have to parallel park. Wait a minute. Now, in the state of Mississippi, you don't even have to take a driver's test.
Really?
Yeah. There is no, it's just a written test at this point. That all happened during COVID as they were trying not to get people near each other, and it never went back to the old way.
I figured they were just scared to ride with these kids.
That would have to be scary. But the old driving test, a thing of the past. Will it come back? I don't know. We need to ask Sean Tyndall that next time we bump into him.
I took mine in a 5-speed.
I did too.
Really?
Right around the DeKalb courthouse. And you had to, back then, it had parallel parking there instead of and you had to park your car in there.
We had to park in a rectangle. And I won't never forget asking him, how am I doing it? He said, well, if you get it all in that box, you got license.
So you did it.
Yeah.
And there's you'd be shocked as to, and it's not many places that still have. Weidman's has it down 8th Street toward the Temple Theater. There's some parallel parking on the right side, but it's not a lot of that left.
Well, I would love. Again, I stress this. I've said this on the show many times. I would love just that one question: how to function at a 4-way stop. That's probably my biggest pet peeve in Meridian, Mississippi driving. It's so simple. First come, first serve. 4-way stop etiquette, and people don't trust them. I'm telling you, just cause you is first, you better not pull out till you make sure.
And then what happened to the, we used to motion to be polite to help people. I don't see that as much anymore either. That's going to be a thing of the past. Let's go ahead and talk about this. We brought it up in opening comments of the sad situation that happened in Clarke County. This would be Highway 513 right in front of Chancellor Trucking. We had a
sad.
It was first reported to 911 in Clarke County. There was a man in the road. That's the way it was called in. He was walking. It wouldn't be 10 minutes later, roughly, that a state trooper, somebody pulled up. But he had somebody pulled over, and somebody got out of their car and walked up to him and said, "There's been an accident. There's a man laying on the edge of the road." And Greg, was a hit and run.
And you don't want to see anybody involved in a hit and run, but apparently pretty popular fella. I've seen a lot of good things posted about him. Obviously, he's going to definitely be missed. He was
dancing garbage man.
Dancing garbage man. He was loved by many.
So horrible. If you know anything, contact 911, or you can contact Mississippi Highway Patrol as they investigate this to try to find this. Did you see something? Did you hear something? Contact the police and let them know. It's just poor fella. We need that handled. Yeah. A sad situation, to say the least, isn't it? As Mississippi Highway Patrol investigates it. Still to come, we're going to be talking about gunfire that happened in the.
No.
Yeah. And
are you sure?
I'm real sure. I even had witnesses tell me about it. And then somebody said, "Well, that's not true." But I said, "I got witnesses." It was back and forth. So we'll tell you all about that in just a moment here. Already 7:29 as we get this day underway. American Portable Buildings not only has buildings, but they also have trailers. They're budget friendly, 0 down, no credit check. Come take advantage of these savings today. Take a look at all they have to offer. If it's a trailer you need, they have them from 12-foot to 16-foot to 18-foot, even car haulers. If you're tired of having to borrow a trailer every time you need one, see them today. Call 601-693-6200 or drop by for a visit at 4838 Old Homestead Road in Meridian. Grass cutting season is here, and if you need a new lawnmower, drop in and visit our friends at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have size yards you have. Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Visit our friends at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. Boy, that happens quick. You got to be quick action. Scotty Ray and Greg, is Otis has the day off, if you're wondering. He was a little bit under the weather if you're just tuning in this morning. Thank y'all for joining us there from Tennessee to all over. Many, many comments. Don't forget your birthdays, anniversaries, welcome. We'll do them coming up at the top of the hour. I headed downtown. I want to say this was Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been Friday. What was it? Let's see.
I think it was Friday.
13th, yeah, it was Friday. 26th Avenue, kind of near where your office is. Matter of fact, if you were standing on the front steps, you probably could have seen it. This is the scene of the Meridian Police Department on scene. Let me blow this up where you can see this. This is where a firearm was discharged. As you can see, many, many police officers there. And so as we pause this to talk about this, is gunfire would erupt there. As I arrived there, the police were over interviewing everybody, and I talked to 2 or 3 people, said, well, I kind of saw what happened. It was a lady telling someone he needed to put a weapon up. He didn't. Next thing you know, it went off, and that's when the screaming started of ow, ow. And then he fell on the ground, hollering and screaming. It wasn't long before someone would pick him up and put him in a Tahoe and take him to the hospital. And the people there said, oh, we heard it all the way to the hospital. Apparently the windows were down in the truck that he was transported in, and they heard the squalling from point A to he made it to the hospital. And then once on set, this is where I had somebody.
I'm just trying
to get a visual here. And then when they got to the hospital, he was let out. And I want to say he rolled on the ground after he got out, and some more squalling happened. He was rushed in for medical attention. Now, the weapon went off.
Weapons don't go off usually.
Correct.
But was he like, what's her name in Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
Shot me in my pinky toe.
That's basically what happened there. I was told. Then they were looking for a suspect. And I said, you need to talk to these fellas here. They kind of saw everything. There is no suspect. And as it went on, then I was told that he really didn't shoot himself, that it was a fragment. I'm sorry, if you're bleeding and it went off, that's still...
We ain't real concerned about what went in the foot. I mean, let's just put the pinky toe back on. That way it can go wee all the way home.
Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Whether it's a portion of it or not, you're bleeding, that's still...
You know, you mess up the whole thing when you shoot one of those toes.
Yes, you do.
One had roast beef, one had none.
Eddie Murphy. That was funny. Della Reese. Boy, that's been a long time since I saw that movie. So that was part of what went on this weekend there, as we go back to recount of what went on with the gunfire. Now, we're going to have some more stories of gunfire. There was a lot that went on. A house was struck. We'll tell you about that also. Can I tell you why people do it? Nope, I ain't got an answer. But it continuously happens all the time. That's just it, and I can't tell you why. Do you remember a guy named Geronimo?
I can't say I ever met him, but yeah, I've heard the name.
He was born in 1829 today, Geronimo.
Really?
Sure was there. He's a big history if you go back and read all this. Yeah. He wouldn't give up. Geronimo was one of the last 2. Do you do this?
No.
Me either. I will not pay to get sick.
Absolutely not. No.
The very first one began today. It opened in 1884. I wouldn't even ride the small one at Dollywood. That little wooden one, it ain't for me.
Now, I would come closer to riding something where they put it together and leave it together like Dollywood, and I have ridden some of those with my daughter, but then she got old enough to realize me and her neither one like them.
Yeah.
I like the water rides or something.
Well, you come down that thing and it splashes in the water.
Log ride. Yeah, no problem. But to pay money for somebody to turn you upside down and shake you, just don't make good sense to me.
I think they even got them now to where you're harnessed in and your feet dangle, and they no sir.
No.
I don't like that. I don't care for all that. Do you remember?
Yes.
What was it? Rub it in.
Yeah, that's about the only thing he ever did, wasn't it?
Yeah, Billy Crash Craddock, born in 1939, a one-hit wonder, we'll call him.
No, I can remember seeing him on Hee Haw as a kid.
Yeah, a little bit here, and a little bit there. Rub it in. Anyway, you remember? I always thought as a kid her name was strange. Joan Van Ark.
Yep.
You remember her?
That was Gary Ewing's wife.
Sure was. 1943, she was born.
She made a few guest appearances on Dallas, and then Knots Landing was her show.
She wore the breeches in that family. Wasn't Gary just like a...
He was the outcast alcoholic brother that moved off to California. Really, I think JR did that to it just to get him out of the picture.
I think
he
so.
could argue and fight with poor old Bobby.
And then Ray Krebs later when he found out he was his brother. The weave that they webbed there. Let's see what else happened today. 1976, do y'all remember the show The Jackson 5? This would be back when Michael and the whole gang was still together, and that song about Ben, the mouse. Ben, the two of us, remember that?
No.
Okay.
Didn't get that channel.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
He did
I
that. That was
remember that.
all of that about the same time Michael Jackson back in the back. Now I remember this like it was yesterday. I can still see in my mind her saying, "You better shape up," where she threw the smoke on the ground and ground it with her foot. Grease would open in theaters 1978. John Travolta, after many surgeries, still looks the same.
Yeah, he just can't smile or frown.
That's correct.
Got that Kenny Rogers plastic look.
And Olivia gone from us.
Really?
Yeah, she passed away. I think it was cancer, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, now
And she's got a daughter that's way out there.
she had a couple of songs that hit the country chart. I'm trying to think. I heard it yesterday. And I like
Please,
it.
Mr. Please.
Yeah.
Don't play A17. It was his song. It was our song.
Yeah.
And
I had a pretty good voice.
yeah, she had a couple of others too.
I ain't the one I'm thinking of.
That wasn't the one you were thinking of? Please, Mr. Please. Have you ever been mellow?
That's one of them Cheech and Chong songs, ain't it? They call me Mellow Yellow.
Let's Get Physical. That was in her later part there.
Yeah.
And then she had You Better Shape Up Because I Need a Man. I don't need to be singing that, do
No,
I?
you need to watch what you're saying.
Yes, I do. Whew.
I don't think I ever seen that movie.
You're kidding me.
Now, I've seen the, whatever you call it, the show. Like, you go on a cruise and they have a show in the theater and they would do great. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever watched it.
You never watched all the way through Rodale High?
No.
It was a monster hit. It
Didn't get that channel.
basically about a guy that was a rough character that was dating Miss Goody Two Shoes, and she turns to be rough and he dresses Goody. Okay, Hopelessly Devoted to You. You're right. That was a good song, but she did pass away from breast cancer. But there was a song back in the '70s that she had there about that. Have you ever been? Please, Mr. Please. It was another one. There was about 3 of them there that she had. Let's see, back in 1980, it would come to life from it all started on Saturday Night Live and would eventually make it to the theater as the Blues Brothers premiered. That Dodge was tough.
What was
wasn't
it? Dan
Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Belushi.
And funny. Funny is not the word for that. And it had so many big stars in it as you go back and remember all those Aretha Franklin scenes. You had Ray Charles, if you'll remember, even had, what's his name from Mississippi? Boom, boom, boom. Johnny Lee Hooker was also in it, Mississippian, as they went down through there. South Dakota joining us. Randy, good morning.
I bet it's cooler up there than it is here.
Yeah. I didn't watch 2.
I didn't either. I remember going to the theater it was Wilson's then or Service Merchandise and seeing Ghostbusters 1.
Oh, yeah, it was the theater
Yep.
there. Service Merchandise. It was Wilson's.
It was Wilson's to start with, and it was Service Merchandise.
That Service Merchandise thing where you had to take the tag and go back there and get it didn't go over
Had the
well.
conveyor belt and stuff had come out on the conveyor belt.
People just didn't care for that. It was a nice thought, but it didn't happen there. Did you ever wear the hammer breeches, or remember those?
No.
I didn't wear them either, but I do remember those in high school that would wear breeches. They'd call them parachute. Isn't that what they were?
Well, they had parachute pants.
And Hammer Time came about, 1990. You can't touch this.
I was listening to Hank Williams Jr. hanging out in a dirt pit. But
That's me too. I didn't know it existed. He went on after he made all that money, went broke, he became a pastor and has turned his life around. He went through some money, but now he's a pastor and changed his ways in this world, so to speak. There
goes to show you.
Grown Men Don't Cry. This was 01. I know you're not a Tim McGraw.
I am not a Tim.
What is it
McGraw
about
fan.
Tim that turns you off?
He just can't sing. Other than that, I like him. He just, I'm
The
sorry,
cowboy in me.
He just don't trip my trigger.
Oh, Tim McGraw. A lot of ladies love him, and you know, there's a lot of the new ones that I can't. But I think we both would agree that Hank probably about the greatest there was. John Conley coming in there.
John
in the top 10.
Conley, George Jones, Merle Haggard. Now that's music.
I agree.
They didn't have to dance around in a bunch of tight fit. I'm sorry, you put Conway in a box, and his music still sounds good.
Boom, boom,
Hello,
boom.
darling.
Ooh, it's nice to see you. It's been a long, long time. And each morning I have my own mini concert.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the greatest thing about where we are in today's world. You can control what you listen to. You don't have to listen to what you used to, where you were trapped, no other way to hear it.
But of course, my wife says I listen to the same things over and over and over. But, you know.
I didn't know Tim came to the Jimmy Rogers Festival. I don't remember that one. Huh.
He's probably parking cars.
Man, they didn't go on to calling you your nickname. I ain't even going to comment on that.
There ain't no telling.
Yeah. Was it Vic? No, it was Jonas. Yeah, we'll get into Greg and all he has to offer there in a minute. 7:42. We got a lot more headlines to share for you coming up.
Spring is here. It's time to get your lawn looking its best with Kubota mowers. Parish Tractor's Kubota Z232 KW42 is the perfect mower for a pristine lawn. And now you can own one with payments as low as $95 a month. Visit Parish Tractor today and take advantage of this amazing offer. 2.99% APR financing now through 6/30/25. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
More than a tractor store.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Welcome back. Odie's still out.
Yes, but he's able to correspond.
From beyond the grave.
Well, he must have an antenna on his bathroom.
Bless his heart. Coming up on 7:44, as this morning goes along, we do hope you're being careful there. A weekend of accidents is the best way to word this.
Weekends of accidents everywhere. And you know, when you post these, I'm trying to be as politically correct and as decent as I can, but I do get my feathers ruffled.
I got you.
And I want the entire listening audience to calm down just a second and think about what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because I know I'm right.
Put it on them.
Without a doubt, I'm right. Everybody wants to know the news unless it involves them or one of their family members. If you hear an ambulance, a fire truck, a police car, whatever, they'll start calling. Where's that going? Where's this going? Where's that going? And regardless of what you think, whether you think people are just being nosy or whether you think Scotty, whatever, the deal is if you know that there is a wreck at this address, you can avoid that area. You know, like yesterday, if you'd have been down there by the airport at the Cefco or whatever, and you hear, hey, eastbound is blocked,
Go around it.
I'd be willing to bet that some of them people in them wrecked vehicles wish they had known that the interstate was blocked and they could have went around it. I'm sorry, people. The news is the news. It's not this side or that side. It's just what they used to say, just the facts, man.
Yeah.
Just the facts. There's people have wrecks. And I'm sorry. And I like to think that if I'm involved in a wreck, I don't care if you plaster it wherever. People get very sensitive and they get very combative, and this is these same people usually that'll call you want to know what happened.
That's correct.
Where did that happen at? We didn't say nobody was doing nothing wrong. Accidents happen. And me, for one, let it go down and says, Greg said, I don't care who you tell or how many pictures you throw up there. I could care less. Matter of fact, I want somebody to know. Maybe they'll come get me or come help me.
You out.
Exactly. But it is. Everybody wants to know the news or who the gunshot, unless it was somebody in their family or somebody, one of their close friends. And then they're offended. I can't believe they're reporting that.
And if I get a text message from the sheriff's department or wherever, and I get a mugshot, it's going up. Even if it's kin to me, I'm going to do that. It's just point blank. That's the way it is.
And that ain't your opinion.
Nope.
It's just the facts is the fact. I mean, do you want an honest news source or not? It's that simple.
We're not going to go either way. It's this is just what happened. You decide after that.
And a lot of times, I'm going to throw this in there too. If it is, of course, we don't have it like we did when we were teenagers. If it's some kind of custom paint job, ain't nobody got a purple truck with green stripes and blue angels or Harley Davidsons painted on it, but your son, he's not going to post that picture. But I'm sorry, dude, if it's a white Tahoe, there's one parked on every corner. I can't believe they posted my kid's picture or my vehicle's description. We ain't showed no tag. And unless it's purple, sky blue, pink with a heavenly border, we're going to post a picture.
As things do happen, as we had the accident on I-20 last week, there was without a shadow of a doubt when I got there that the gentleman was deceased. We did not post a picture of it because I knew without a shadow of a doubt that his family did not know. We didn't show that.
Right.
Now, have we been to accidents where there's a conglomeration of cars that we filmed and then later someone would pass on? That can't be helped. That's just part of the way the news works. But if I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's a deceased person, we're not going to show that. But we're as honest as we can be, straight down the middle. And 99% of people understand that.
And that's true. Now, I'd say 99.9. They get it. But there's always that one that I can't believe. You know, it is what it is. But for the most part, let's face it, at our age, all vehicles look alike. You can't. I'm sorry. Used to, you know, we had a little. Let me get on that too. We have become boring. We used to customize put these wheels or these antennas or the boomerang antenna and the thing sticking. We don't do that. All vehicles to me look alike.
They do.
But again, if it's a custom paint job, if your son's driving a 52 Studebaker, he probably ain't gonna post a picture because there's a good chance there ain't but one of them around.
As we go here, here's an accident that happened. This would be I-20 this weekend. This would happen as we look at this, and this is some form of, I think, a Toyota 4Runner, what it used to be. Now, we did have some injuries, nothing life-threatening with this, but these things, look at that.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to say that that went end over end at some point. That would be near mile marker 124.
I can't believe you posted that.
I know, I'm sorry,
My niece
Greg.
has got one just like that. But so does 11 million other people.
Correct. And if you were wondering, a situation like this, there's no way to tell who this is. The important part is you want to know why your power was out. This is what would happen on Saturday night as we go here. Look at this. It struck a light pole, flipped end over end. 3 people were trapped, Greg, as the fire department got there. They freed them, and you ain't going to guess what happened next. 2 of them ran off real quick. Yep, they didn't hang around.
Let me guess. Now, I'm no detective. That wasn't their car.
I don't know all the facts. They have not told us everything, but there is a chance.
There's a pretty good chance that ain't their car. If it is, they voided the warranty.
Yeah, that one got a ding or two on it. As we go here, what we got here, we got another. This would be on Highway 19 near the Ag Center. As we look at this would be Friday afternoon. Can you fix that Buick?
A Buick or Chevrolet?
That's a
Toyota.
No, this is Highway 39.
I don't know what that is.
I
don't know what that is, and there's 11 million of them on the road. So if that's your baby's cousin's nephew's babysitter's next door neighbor, we didn't mean to offend nobody.
I really don't know, but it used to. Buicks had that on the side of their car, only Buicks.
You can buy them aftermarket now at AutoZone.
Okay.
It almost looked like a Toyota Avalon.
And it could have been. But it slowed. Yeah, but that used to mean it was a Buick back in the day.
What's
that center hubcap look like? Let's zoom in, Greg.
Detective.
I can't tell.
Scotty Ray, that may be a Buick. Is that the three things?
It's similar.
All right, people, name that car. For a fabulous prize pack worth nothing.
We had another accident. This was a rear-ending accident, and this one of those things under the Texas turnaround as we go here. Bobby taking him a quick break there before he hooks to everything.
Yeah, Bobby worked this weekend, I believe.
Yeah, he did. As you tell, Bobby's tired.
I'm telling you right now, everywhere you looked, it seemed like somebody was tearing up something.
But that's the way it all looked there on, I believe this was Friday afternoon. Yeah, Friday afternoon we had this accident here. Well, let's see what else we got here. We got some more accidents. This would be the Highway 19 accident that I was talking about earlier. The Sheriff's Department had to help out with this because all of the Meridian Police Force was over in Marion.
Same way on the interstate yesterday.
Yeah.
They were strung out.
As we'll see here, this was someone, it looked as though it was a collision there crossing the interstate is what it looked like. And we'll show you a still picture of that car. That got a good lick there.
Yeah, it did. That ain't gonna buff.
No, not a bit there. Metro ambulance come out. And in most cases, the ambulance service comes out to check everybody out. You just never know.
No.
There's been many a wreck that you and I have been on to where everybody goes, I'm fine. And then 10 minutes later, they go, whoa, wait a minute. So normally an ambulance is going to come anyway to check it out.
Especially if our airbag's deployed.
Yeah. Now, we had someone, we got to give kudos as we go to Philadelphia. This would happen there. Do you know where the old Walmart used to be in Philadelphia? You go downtown where it has that mural on the wall that says My Fair City. If you take a right, that leads you out to where the old Walmart used to be. And this is where the incident would happen here. We had a wreck there, and the person tried to leave the scene. Someone saw it happen, and they took their car and boxed them in. Philadelphia PD would arrive on the scene and take someone to jail for DUI. Might be why they were trying to back up. Now, our next is a wreck. I was headed to church yesterday morning. I got a call that said there's just been an accident. We went up Highway 493. Here's a wreck, a rollover Chevrolet pickup truck. No injuries whatsoever.
And there's 9,000 trucks that color in Lauderdale County. And you can't read the tag.
Nope. No one knew what that was until it was flipped over. I spoke to the grandfather on scene. Very, very nice and good fellow there.
Yeah.
And as always, you're always concerned about when it's somebody kin to you. Very nice people. Didn't have a problem whatsoever. Let's see here. We had an issue at the cemetery.
Yeah, somebody parked in it.
Clarke County as we go here. Cornelius Scott was arrested by the Clarke County deputies and Quitman police officers as they found him passed out behind the wheel of his vehicle. He tried to straighten out the curve at County Road 110 near the city limits and got stuck on top of a gravestone inside the cemetery.
Not good.
As they're saying there, that not much damage to it. We hope not, but that gets you a ride downtown to stay in the burial yacht.
Yes.
So that's what went on in Clarke County on that over the weekend. We had some more Clarke County news. They got body cams down there now. I'm trying to find the picture of that. I got it toward the end here. Here it is. They got body cams.
Reckon they ordered Harold one?
I think they should have. No, we're unaware if they keep them on when they go get the food over there.
At the Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Or the Skidmores?
Skidmores. We don't know what all goes on there. But body cams have been deployed in Clarke County. That's something new for the county. They've never used that before. Also, Sunday morning, I got I believe it was Sunday morning. Yeah, Saturday morning, I got a note about a pothole. This was going to be happening. If you're in the area of 4300 block of 33rd Place, be careful. This is 35th Avenue, which runs up to North Crest Baptist Church. Mm-hmm. If you go straight down it and were to take a left, 33rd is off of that. Pretty good sized pothole, sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
Yeah.
Now, y'all think about this. This is something else. I'm going to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
What was the infrastructure in Meridian? Most of the sewer lines and all put in what, late 40s, 50s or earlier? They cannot predict when a street is going to fall in. I know people find that hard to believe.
That's true.
But my hat's off to them for doing what they do and trying to keep up with it best they can, because Meridian is suffering from the same thing that a lot of other cities are suffering from, and that's our infrastructure is old. The piping is rusting out, is falling in. Be patient, because I don't care who it is. People say, well, this, that, Democrat, Republican, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anybody digging up going, hey, we need to improve. Right now, we're just trying to fix as it happens.
We've got an incident. I'm not sure if it's put back together yet. I know there was one right off of 23rd Avenue near Great Southern National Bank that were repairing a little sinkhole there.
Yep.
It was pretty big. And those things happen, and we're going to have more of them.
And I'm no engineer, but if you go right on down, kind of in line with that, you got another one there off of Grand Avenue.
Yep.
So if I was guesstimating, I would say that's one line running through there, and guess what? The rest of it's the same age as them places that's already fell in. So.
And you know, we had that big leak a few weeks back on B Street. Remember that was?
I was kind of in line with that too.
Yeah, and that affects water anywhere south toward 20.
That's right.
So I'm just trying to keep you updated as what happening there. We did have a tree fall on a home.
Did anybody hear it?
Well, yeah, they did. They was inside, as a matter of fact. Everybody is okay. This would happen in the 5800 block of 18th Place as you'll look at this. This is 493. This is up behind Last Chance Tobacco up in there. The old Olin Mills photography there. Poplar Springs Drive.
Where Miss Babs used to live.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in that subdivision across from Miss Babs is where that happened. Everybody's okay. Now, it shook everybody up, don't get me wrong. We did have gunfire.
No.
Yes, sir. Myrtlewood Drive is where we would have a home struck. Now, we had shots fired up in here around Highland Baptist Church.
Myrtlewood Drive.
Myrtlewood Drive.
Ain't that around Debbie?
No, that's Myrtlewood. It's a different name. This is a this is a dead end road here, Myrtlewood Drive. It's Myrtle. I'll show you on a map.
Okay.
It's close. Same kind of name. 2000 block State Boulevard, we had gunfire. And then we had 4500 block of Highland Park gunfire. Now, if I had a map, I was going to show you. I don't know if I've still got it. Here's Meridian. Let me back out here and show you here. As you go to South Meridian, where's Highway 45?
Right there. Go up. Move up.
Up this way? That's 40 bypass.
Scroll down.
Right there. Myrtle Drive is what that's called.
Huh. I didn't know we had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. One is called Myrtlewood and one is called Myrtle, as we look here.
Now, you can take that blue off.
Yeah, sort of had a little leak, so to speak.
A little leak, nothing.
Oh.
Odie called me and said, go by there and look at Lake Mont. God, there ain't nothing to look at, Odie.
It's gone.
It's gone.
We'll be right back. More to come with Scotty Ray and Greg as Odie takes the day off for...
Squeeze it. I think he's squeezing the Charmin.
Him and Mr. Whipple.
Him and Mr. Whipple.
There you go.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Welcome back, and the great shoe sale continues.
Hey, that may be why Odie's sick.
Why is that?
That's the most money I ever seen Odie spend. He left there. I thought he was Al Bundy. He was toting so many boxes of shoes. But I'm telling you, I'm not a shoe shopper. Say
right.
that 3
shoe
times
shop.
real quick.
Ooh, I don't even gonna do that.
Anyhow, but if you've never been there, that is a neat place.
It is.
You can walk through there and watch them making the shoes. And you know, I'm big on supporting local.
Yep.
And it don't get no more local than this. These shoes is made right here.
Now, what they've got is a big sale going on. They cost $20, $30, and $40. And what they're doing is they got a new design coming out in July, so they're getting rid of all of the other inventory of every pair of shoes they've got. It's a bargain. I wore the pair I got Saturday night, as a matter of fact.
Yep. They got some shoes that's like $165 on sale for $30 and $40.
Yep.
20, 30, and 40. I mean, I kind of throwed Odie under the bus, but I got to admit, I bought 4 or 5 pair myself. So I didn't buy as many as Odie, but anyhow, and I bought myself 1 pair. I bought my wife 3 pair.
There you go.
And my daughter 1.
It is a bargain. They're good looking shoes. They even have house shoes down there with fuzzy stuff
they got
on
them fuzzy house shoes. They got leather shoes. They got all color of shoes. They've got the, what do you call it, like net cloth shoes.
Yeah.
Leather shoes. They even got high top shoes.
Sure do.
So go by there and check it out. And if you've never watched somebody make a pair of shoes, it's pretty doggone interesting.
Starts at 9 this morning. We'll run until 5. And again, they're going to have a big drawing at the end of the month. They're giving away some prizes. Also, I think you contributed to that little prize pack.
I did. They're going to give away some dinners for 2. They're going to give away some firework packages. They got a big TV.
Yeah. Go by, but if you want to save money and get a new pair of shoes, now's the time to go by and visit with them. They'll take care of you there. Let's see what else is happening today that we hadn't talked about, Greg. I talked about the house.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Oh, we had a series, and I know you went to this.
Yeah, since my dear buddy Odie was supposed to be out of town, and I took call for him this weekend. And for those that don't know, sometimes you don't even get a call. I don't think I ever sat down this weekend.
It was just woof.
One after another. I got called there 3 times, 3 different times.
This was, and we think it to be intentional. It was a series of mobile homes that caught on fire in the Johnson Lane
off of Mini Farms. First one, I think, come in about 11 o'clock Friday night. Then someone reset it, or it rekindled early Saturday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, a different one next to it. Both of them, neither one of them were occupied. It mysteriously caught on fire.
And we use the word mysterious because we haven't been told otherwise yet, but they just don't happen out of the blue unoccupied. No. We'll word it that way.
No.
So we wait to see.
My hat's off, Long Creek, Clarkdale, Southeast Volunteer Fire Departments. Anybody that knows anything about construction or knows anything about firefighting, when you save a single wide mobile home, you did good.
Yes, you did.
Because there's not that much, and I'm not knocking it. I've lived in one all my life, so I'm not saying that. I'm just saying once a mobile home gets ignited, you don't have very much time.
It's quick.
It's over with. And those men and women, they was on the spot.
They were hustling to get there.
Yes, sir. All of our volunteers. Again, I'll take a second to throw them a bone. Man, Lauderdale County is blessed. Blessed. You hear me? Well, and Clarke. Great volunteer fire departments. And that's the people that's coming when you hit 911.
Well, let me tell you, that Kona had a bunch over there in Newton County. They constantly roll somewhere.
I have fought fire with them too in Newton County.
Yeah.
I go way back in the woods to put one out. Kemper. I fought fire with Kemper.
Yeah, without a doubt there. Hey, we had something big happen this weekend. We have a new Miss Mississippi.
Really?
We have to say congratulations to this girl, Leah Jolly. Now, is she not gorgeous?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you a little story that I was told Sunday morning at church about her. At 11 years old, she was abandoned in Ukraine in front of an orphanage. Mother drove up and dropped her off. She was adopted and brought to the United States.
Really?
Since then, she has went on to become Miss Mississippi. And her story, I didn't even touch on it. She's a godly little girl.
Awesome.
And it tugs at your heart, that whole story. I'll have to go back and get more information on that. But she's had a tough time growing up. And look at her now.
Absolutely.
Is that not wonderful?
Just goes to show you can do anything you set your mind to.
We got to brag on Luke Massey.
Oh, man, that's one of them Wally Goppers.
Look at that 8-pound bass he caught this weekend. That's humongous.
That picture weighs 3 pounds.
Now, I want to say I've gotten some more pictures of some fishing trips I hadn't got up yet. I got to go back and check on that. But congratulations to him. That's a big deal.
But also belated Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I noticed the line of traffic going in RW's driveway yesterday. All them children carrying them bottles of Brute 33 to him. Yeah.
How many children has he got, you reckon?
Ooh.
It's a heap, isn't it?
There ain't no telling. They come out the woodwork.
Man.
And I text the Honorable Judge GWT last night.
Yeah.
And told him Happy Father's Day and what a father he is.
Just a man of exceptional character.
Yes, absolutely. Just proud to be acquainted with the Honorable Judge.
We need to tell you there's a horse out. This will be Highway 19 between Young Saloon and Collinsville, Wildcat Road there.
I'm sorry, that just looks like a saloon commercial.
It does. So if you're in the area, watch out for the horse there. He's there. And again, this is what we were talking about earlier there with the United Way Stuff the Bus. That's happening there. July 10th is when all of that will begin. So lots going on there. I was making sure we hadn't forgotten anything. And here's the guy. Let me show you this picture. We hadn't pulled it up. I shared that from Fox News. That's what he was wearing, Greg, when he knocked on the door and killed that lawmaker. This is him. He was captured early yesterday morning in a cornfield or in a field near where he lived, crawling.
That's where they'd have found him.
It was numerous true. I'm shocked on that as well. But no injuries, taken into custody without incident, as they worded on this. Let me go back. Let me see if I've got that information. I think I've got it back here about him. Yeah, here it is. He's 57 years old. He was appointed by the guy that was Kamala's running mate, Waltz. He was appointed in 2019 to serve on the governor's Workforce Development Board until 2023. Newsweek reported that. So he has a connection in the political world. The appointment document, which is signed by Waltz and Secretary of State Steve Simmons, addressed Bolter. They said that because of the special trust and confidence in your integrity, judgment, and ability, they appointed him and commissioned him to hold the office of a business member. So they bragged on him, and it turns out, and again, there's no way that you can't judge what a person's going to do. I don't want anybody to think that. But this guy is not like he was a no one. And from what I understand, she voted for immigrants to be deported from the United States. She broke from the Democrat Party and crossed.
Actually voted
for America.
To make sense.
And apparently, and again, it can't be proven at this point, but apparently he didn't like that. He was targeting Democrats that may have had some Republican leaning to them. And knocked on their front door. They opened it, and he killed her and her husband. Drove to another house, and as police arrived there, they noticed that it had a political look, and they rushed to another candidate's house or political person within 5 miles away, and he was there, and they got into a gun battle. He did wound 2 other people. They lived, and they had a shootout with him, and he had to run on foot. Who would think this is on American soil, y'all? All of this stuff is going on. It's just bad, to say the least. We'll be right back, and we'll do birthdays next.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
At the
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Welcome back, friend Scotty Ray, along with Greg as we move along this morning. Sherry, remember her? Sonny and Sherry, remember Sherry?
Yeah.
Their son, who is 48 now, hospitalized for an overdose.
Imagine that.
Got him some fingernails added there. We'll leave that at that, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else happened this weekend as we look at this. Jimmy Kimmel took to the streets. He took part of the protest across America.
Good. We should go to the airport.
Yeah.
And leave.
He hadn't left yet. Do you remember? Let me show you this picture here and see if you recognize her. Does that look like anybody you know?
No.
I always like to play this game. It's interesting. Do you remember watching The Waltons?
Yeah.
That is Mary Ellen.
Really?
That's her.
Judy
Norton?
Yeah.
Judy Norton there. And as you go back, here's the whole, and truly what a wholesome show that was back in the day.
It was, because she really blew their image when she was in Playboy in 1985.
You got a copy of that?
Nope.
You just heard tell?
I just know things.
Okay, so in that she did do that.
I have a vault of useless information.
And she said it was the single worst mistake that she ever made of her career. She had a publicist, manager,
steered her the wrong way. All right, well, wasn't now while we digging up dirt on the Waltons? Grandpa Will Greer, is that right? Wasn't he, as Fred Sanford would say?
LGBT. Also, Granny was LGBT. Yes, both.
For real?
For real.
Shazam.
They didn't talk about that back in the day.
Well, no joke.
And John Boy just liked to streak. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
He got arrested for streaking. You don't remember that?
Richard Thomas
got arrested for that.
Boogie Dad.
He sure did. I thought you remembered that.
No.
Yep.
I love the Waltons. Now, I'm sorry. I'm a Walton.
And I don't know what happened to Jim Bob and the rest of them. Every now and then they'll have a get-together.
Reunion or something.
Yeah.
I always liked Ben.
Oh, Ben was a good character.
I never was a fan of John Boy's.
John Boy was different. He was the writer of the family, but the leader of the show.
I liked Ike Godsey.
Ike.
Because his wife stayed on him. That was a nitpick.
Y'all had a lot in common, didn't you?
I didn't say that, honey, dear sweetheart. But Ike Godsey had it. I mean, he held it together when most fellas would have blowed up.
Because Corbeth was hard to live with.
And there was a lot of good characters. The sheriff.
Yeah.
The Baldwin ladies, Emily.
Oh, the recipe.
Yeah, the recipe. Papa's recipe.
Papa.
Yeah. Good show.
Remember the episode where John Boy got the car from them, Papa's car?
No. He got the car from a guy down the road. That son had died in the military, and he bought the car. And then he did work on the farm to get the car, and then the old man wasn't going to let him have the car
after he'd done the work.
He hid it from him, and then the car was black, and then he painted it tan.
Yep.
And had the upholstery. The girls redid the upholstery. I know some stuff about the Waltons.
I was wrong. I almost spoke to Greg, settling it all there. But you're right. That's what happened there.
Yeah. The old man was crippled, seemed like, him and his wife, and he couldn't get up on the roof, and John Boy fixed the roof and the barn and all that for the car. But then he went and hid the car. He was washing it in a creek. I know some Waltons now.
But do you remember the guy that done the voice of the show when it would come on?
Earl Hamner.
Yeah, that would be John Boy, the actual guy that wrote all those books. That was truly him.
Yeah. And it showed that, it was set in Virginia, but it was really filmed on a lot. I think Burbank, California.
Yeah, they've used
right
that.
Behind the house was interstate.
And you're right, Karina. That is just like Niles, bless his heart, on Little House on the Prairie. There's a few ladies like that out there that are kind of. How do you word that when they're demanding? What do you call that type lady?
Normal.
No. That try to boss their husband.
Oh, like Ms. Olson?
Yes, Mrs. Olson.
Ooh.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. She was something else.
You got a birthday for us?
I do.
Who had one today?
We have. Happy birthday to Larry Grayson. I have a happy birthday to Edna Warren, 85 years old today. Brandon Barr with the Meridian Fire Department, happy birthday. And I'm going to take my hat off for this one. Michael and Karen Hurd.
Oof.
That lady, oh, you precious soul, has put up with him for 34 years.
34.
She deserves one of them Nobel Peace Prizes. Woo. If you don't know Michael Hurd, you've missed.
And LaWanda didn't dance around the subject. She just went ahead and called it what it was. It was called hen-pecked husbands like that. She just told it like, we both know one or two people that are that way.
That's right.
Can't think for themselves because they're not allowed to.
That's right.
And somebody's trying to insult you there, said that was bright.
We've had a pretty good morning, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We want to say thank you to each and every one of you for joining us. And although we don't have a Bible verse pulled up here, we remind you that there's a reason that we're here every single day. It's a good Lord above.
It's not an accident.
No.
It's not an accident. It wasn't because of monkeys or because of evolution or two fruitcakes flew together.
That's correct.
We're blessed people. Love somebody today. Be nice to somebody. Surprise them. Hug their neck.
Unless they don't want it.
And then hug them twice.
We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining us. Have
and
a
don't
wonderful
forget,
day.
Odie, squeeze the Charmin.